Most of the people are in by now, so let's start. So, good morning, everybody. Welcome. I'm Dan Svoboda. I'm on the commercial side of things in Meiro in EMEA. And today's session is about winning in an AI era through hyper-personalization. And more importantly, what that actually means for you in practice in terms of your data architecture, and execution. First, let me say a little bit about who we are as Meiro. Karel, can you please show next? Meiro is a customer data platform and experience, customer data and experience platform built in Europe. We work with enterprise organizations across financial services, retail, media, travel, where we help teams to unify their customer data, govern it properly, and activate it in real time without compromising privacy or control. And our task today is not to sell you a product, but to kind of set you on the right path for the era of AI, because AI is already impacting what your customers are expecting and how your infrastructure and your current technology stack performs and how it is perceived by customers. Next slide, please. You can see a snapshot here of brands we're working with across half of the globe, principally in three core industries: FSI, retail, and the media. So these companies that you see don't really have necessarily business similarity that is very close, but they share a data complexity or business complexity. They have multiple sales channels. They often face structured data. They face regulations that are getting stricter on multiple axes. And the business teams are on increasing pressure to deliver ROI against investments they are making into the technology. And that is the area that we want to talk about today. Next, please. So we want to focus on three things. First, how does expectation of personalization changes in an AI era from a customer perspective? What that means for your customer data architecture, governance, and compliance. And the third one is, how do you actually bring that into practice, right? Technology is a necessary component, but the deployment and the actual business process is a key also in an era that the technology is changing. During the webinar, you should be able to put comments or notes. So when something pops into your mind, please put it in a chat, ask a question or a comment. At the end, we will have a time dedicated for Q&A, so we'll pick up your questions from there. You see our three speakers. Let me introduce them to you. I'll start with Charmaine. Charmaine is a AWS specialist, and she will cover the topic of a cloud and infrastructure perspective. How do you build scalable, AI-ready, compliant foundations? Then Chalupa, he is from our consulting partner of Adastra, and he will tie the story for us today with practical insights into what are the key points when you are actually deploying a solution that should drive your AI, and what you should really be aware before you embark on a project. But first speaker is going to be Karel Holub. He is one of ours. He is a solution consultant, very close to the product as well as the actual use cases and utilization at our client side. And with that, let me hand it over to you, Karel.
Thank you. Once again, welcome everyone to this session. We have people connecting from all over the world, so I really have no idea what part of the day it is. So I will start with the quite universal greeting of good day to everyone. And let's move with the presentation. So To be able to talk about the practical use of customer data and AI, we will start with 2 examples of our customers and their business cases and how they actually use customer data to improve the business criteria. So one of the examples is a travel agency, and travel agency business is extremely sensitive towards personalization of the content, as well as towards the personalization of the context in which the communication to customers happens. So you need to deliver the right message to the right person in the right time and be relevant. Customer data and personalization should really help that use case. Special retailers. Special retailers are extremely sensitive towards delivering relevant products in the messaging to their clients. It would not really work if they were recommending products that are totally off topic or useless to their clients. So recommendations and relevant products in terms of what they actually do, if it's something that supports the health of the client or what the clients are used to buying, or the price sensitivity and other aspects of recommendations are extremely important in special retails. So again, client data and machine learning and artificial intelligence can help in that kind of business a lot. So how does Meiro CDP customer data platform actually helps powering the AI revolution that everybody is talking now? Well, I'm very proud of that title that I have chosen for the first slide, because AI needs to be powered by customer data, as well as customer data can benefit hugely from AI and machine learning. At the end of the day, it's all about delivering the right message to the right person in the right context. As Dan mentioned previously, Meiro CDP is an enterprise customer data platform, and the basic, let's say, product of customer data platform is actually the customer profile. If we want to talk in a very personal way to our clients, we need to be able to first identify who our clients are one by one. So we want to achieve hyper-personalization. Do not talk to an individual as if they were an anonymous audience. They are a person. So we need to find out who they are, what they prefer, what are their choices, and why they make those choices, and so on. So customer data platform unifies the historical data, behavioral data, and creates a complex, what we call 360 degrees view of a customer profile. Meiro CDP is built for complex as well as regulated industries. What do we mean by complex environments or industries? Multiple data sources, multiple kinds of data and data formats. That all creates a detailed description of the profile. Regulated industries, why? We will talk about it later, and especially in cooperation with AWS, that is able to provide very secure environment for the customer data and for you to be able to work with customer data. Why companies actually choose Meiro? Well, I believe that the main reason is our strong identity resolution. We are really able to connect all the dots together and track the client's behavior throughout the entire customer journey and use that data for better decisions as well as for personalized communication. And we are really real time. Why do I use double really? Because real time should really happen in real time. Tomorrow is not a real time, right? So you want to address the client while they are still at your website, in your mobile application, and it needs to happen within milliseconds. Personalization. The simple, most important mission of customer data platform, no matter whether you use machine learning, AI, or any other advanced technology, is to be able to deliver the right message to the right person in the right context through the preferred channel and at the right time. Now, the best communication to the client really hits the sweet spot between not enough and too much, right? So the clients need to have just enough information to support their decision towards conversion, whether it's registration, whether it's application download, or purchasing. And at the same time, you should not overload your customer base with too much pushy information or messages and so on. So what is the sweet spot for your customer base? Well, I believe there is not one sweet spot for the entire customer base. There may not even be one sweet spot for one type of the audience. There might be individual sweet spot of what does it mean enough information and too much information for each and every individual in your customer base. So that would be omnichannel personalization based on behavior of individuals, also compared with the rest of the segments or with the rest of your customer base. So we are tracking the behavior of the client across your touch points, and based on what they do, what they had done previously, and in comparison with the rest of their segment, we allow either the system of the rules or some kind of machine learning, which we will see later on, or AI in that case, to decide what would be the next best action, maybe the next best message or offer sent to this individual. And the next best action might be based on some propensity, affinity modeling, or it might include recommendation models. And those models would be highly customized or individualized for each business. What is extremely important is to understand that now each individual uses multiple devices, multiple browsers, and they communicate with your brand across multiple channels, and they are still one person. So it's extremely important that we keep consistent message across all the channels, all the devices they might be using. AI, machine learning. It's not that new as it might sound from all the hype that we are getting on LinkedIn nowadays. We've had machine learning algorithms, statistics, and AI for a long time. And we know for a long time that all those mechanisms and computations are only as good as the basis data that you feed into the models. So simply put, first, you need to make sure that your profile data is accurate and as detailed as possible. Otherwise, you would be running very sophisticated computations using your very precious and expensive models on very precious and mildly expensive infrastructure to compute bad results because of the bad inputs, right? So models learn from behavior, not really assumptions. It's actually a huge statistical model. And if we are not able to attribute the behavior to individual people, we might get wrong results based on wrong data. Why static CRM data may not be enough? Because usually CRM data only gives you day -1 view of the client. It's not really real-time data. It's not behavioral data. So it's missing a lot of details, which CDP, Customer Data Platform, can provide, and you can build much better profiles with it. Behavioral tracking and tracking the data is really critical to be able to put together consistent messaging that would be relevant to your clients. So why does behavior actually beat demographics? Well, back to hyper-personalization. Demographics is really useful when you want to build a persona. So if your persona is, let's say, a male customer from a city between the age 25 to 35 with one mortgage, and now they are in situation that they would be eligible for another mortgage or a loan, or they might be interested in one of your products, that's your demographics. And that's too simple, because that would really simplify every single person into a character. Well, it might work in huge numbers, but it's not really personalized communication. So first, we create the persona, and then we look into more details for each individual within that segment. And if their behavior actually shows us they might be interested in the product that you want to offer or in the service, then we can approve the communication and we can really respond to their behavior. So the intent, timing, and context are really important in here, and you don't get those details from static data that is 1 day old. Machine learning and AI models that can help and that actually move the needle when it comes to customer data and customer communication. Classification of the clients, the churn risk, conversion possibilities, eligibility towards certain products or loyalty levels. Those might sound simple, and we can actually use heuristic rules to classify the clients, but with the help of machine learning and AI, those predictions or patterns can show us something that a human being would not really spot in the customer data. And it's really, I would say, flexible and quick in re-evaluating those patterns based on the changes of behavior of the customer base and so on. Regression classifications, the value of the client, propensity modeling, and the timing, even such a simple thing such as preferred timing of the communication and related to segment and type of the communication, it might play very significant role in success of your communication campaigns. So even if we are talking to the same person, if we talk to them in the morning, they might be more prone to respond positively to a message on their phone through WhatsApp or through any other messaging. In the afternoon, they might actually open their email or the other way around. Recommendation models. What is the next best product or action? Now, the rules might be very simple. We only want to use collaborative filtering to recommend products. So it would be your typical, the person who bought this also bought that. And based on that, you might recommend some upsell and cross-sell products and so on. Machine learning and AI offers us a lot more. So we can create the rules that are a lot more specific across product categories and also client segments. So we can use it and get much better results in upsell, cross-sell, and retention of the clients. What would be some machine learning examples here? Predictive scoring pipeline. So based on previous purchases as well as the current behavior of the client, we can try to compute what would be the future behavior of the clients and whether it's just a single purchase or whether it's a start of long-term relationship. And we can try to maximize the value of the client throughout the life cycle. Product recommendations, something I have already spoken about. So it's important to decide what would be a relevant model for your customer base or even for individual types of the products that you want to recommend and how you want to do it. AI and machine learning helps us not only in communication towards the clients and to make the personalization even more personal, so hyper-personal, but it can also help you to use the CDP platform faster and in better way. So AI does not necessarily need to only focus on client data and messaging, but it also helps users of customer data platform to create segments easier, faster, and in some cases even comes up with segments that may not be obvious to us human beings. So it's not only efficiency in the communication, but also efficiency in terms of the use of the platform. Meiro CDP can run on AWS infrastructure. So it helps with the security, it helps with the data transfer, and it also helps with the use of all those beautiful components that you can get within AWS ecosystem. So all the machine learning capabilities, all database capabilities, data transfer capabilities that AWS already has can be fully integrated into Meiro CDP, and you can get real value out of that ecosystem. Before I hand over to Charmaine, and I'm mindful of the time, I will still try one moment of surprise and one moment that every presenter is actually dreading. Sorry. And I will show you a bit of a live demo of what the AI might look like within Meiro CDP. And bear with me, it will be only very quick. So, as I mentioned, AI can help the users of CDP to get better value of the platform. So right on the home screen of CDP, there is an AI consultant, basically a virtual member of our marketing team. And as you can see, it welcomes me with top 3 insights from CDP data, top 3 recommendations for Meiro CDP, what can we do today? And it might also help me to set up new segment of clients with email consent and no web purchase in past 30 days. So like that, I only ask very simple requirement or present very simple requirement to create an audience. The AI assistant will look into the data, create the segment for me, and now I can display that kind of segment, very simple conditions, consent set to yes, web store purchase, now minus 30 days, no. So it did exactly what I wanted, and I'm very happy that I was able to present even live demo in this webinar. And now I will hand over to Charmaine. Thank you. Charmaine, you're on mute.
Yeah, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So today I'll be talking about hyper-personalization and how you can achieve that on AWS and some of the resources that we have available on AWS to help you with that. So first, I want to talk a bit more about how AWS can help you drive your desired business outcomes. So here at AWS, we don't work in isolation. We're a part of a powerful partnership ecosystem that's designed to help drive your business outcomes. And at the center, you'll see we have AWS, which is surrounded by 6 critical partner types that helps address different aspects of your market tech transformation. So first, we have strategy and consulting partners that will help you define the what and the how when designing your customer data strategy, along with your personalization roadmap as well. We also have our building and execution partners like ProServe, as well as our Amazon partner network members that can help bring this implementation expertise and to execute that vision for you as well. And then we also have our Gen AI, and ML partners, which include Amazon Bedrock, Amazon QuickSuite, along with any specialized Gen AI SaaS providers. And this can help deliver the intelligence layer that really helps you with hyper-personalization at scale. And then we also have our strategic business partners that spans across the pan-Amazon ecosystem. And this really helps bring a unique insight. And these capabilities are ones that only Amazon can provide. And critically, we also have our connective tissue, which is our data and integration specialist. And this ensures seamless connectivity between our platform along with our partners. And then finally, we also have our solution and innovation partners, which use our working backwards methodology to help develop AWS solutions that can really help drive continuous innovation. And so together for this whole ecosystem, it really ensures you're not just buying technology, but also gaining a complete solution with the expertise and integration that is needed to help balance both privacy and personalization effectively. So next, I also want to introduce our AWS Generative AI Stack. So when you're ready to get building securely as well as responsibly, where do we get started? So you'll see how this is split into 3 different levels. So first, we've got our high-level services such as Amazon QuickSuite, along with Kiro. So Amazon QuickSuite is a Gen AI-powered assistant where you can leverage your company's internal data to help you accelerate productivity. We also have Kiro, which helps you with accelerating software development as well. Then we also have Amazon Bedrock, where you get a bit more customization available, where you get to choose your own foundation models, have a bit more configurability as well. And you can quickly integrate Amazon Bedrock into your current applications as well, quickly implementing Gen AI. So this is something I'll focus on later on as well. But at the lowest level, we also have Amazon SageMaker, where you're able to train as well as deploy your own ML models. So this is where it gets a bit lower level. You're responsible for training the models, deploying the models, also testing the models as well. And we also provide the necessary infrastructure for that through Amazon Trainium and Amazon Inferentia, as well as any GPUs that are available as well. So next, I want to talk about the Gen AI capabilities. And in this topic, I really want to focus on Amazon Bedrock. So Bedrock is a service that comes with 4 key components. So this is everything you would need to build, deploy, and scale generative AI applications. So with Bedrock, you have access to high-performing foundation models from leading companies, and this can include our Amazon proprietary models, but also any third-party partner models like Anthropic or DeepSeek, as Karel mentioned earlier. You're also able to integrate contextual information from your company's private data sources to deliver more relevant as well as accurate and customized responses. And of course, responsible AI is very important. We also have guardrails where you can implement safeguards to customize that are customized to your application's requirements. And with our new Amazon Bedrock Agent Core offering, you're also able to build, deploy, and scale agents within Agent Core as well. So these are just some of the use cases that we've seen with our customers regarding using Amazon Bedrock, and what are some of their main kind of where we really see Amazon Bedrock shine. So here are some of the categories that we have. So we've seen customers use it to enhance customer experience, either through virtual assistants, maybe some personalization as well regarding e-commerce sites and having those chatbots. We've also had a lot of customers boost their employee productivity internally as well by using it for summarization, getting insights from a large quantity of data, along with code generation as well. And then lastly, we also see them optimize their business processes. So this can be through intelligent document processing. We also see people use it for fraud detection, as it can really comb through a large quantity of data and help you identify those any anomalies within that data as well. So as I mentioned earlier, you have a wide range of high-performing foundation models that are available on Amazon Bedrock. So these are some of the models that we have available. So you'll see we have our Claude model, so from Anthropic, but we also have Amazon proprietary models. So our Nova family, which has different tiers considering what your use case is, the complexity of your use case as well. So these are some of the foundation models that you would have access to on Amazon Bedrock. So for example, if you're working with a customer or audience segmentation for marketing purposes, you typically use a foundation model in combination with other tools, and this can be with your data as well. So for example, you might want to use any of the Claude or Llama models to help analyze your customer data, extract insights, as well as help develop some segmentation criteria. And these models can process large amounts of customer data and really help you identify patterns for segmentation within that data. And then we also have LLMs that are good at producing content. So for example, social media content, we have Amazon Nova Canvas, which is our image generation foundation model that can be used to generate mockups of products, generate any social media content, and even place your product into another backdrop. And this is very quick and easy for you to start experimenting and see whether to really help you gain inspiration for your other product launches in the future as well. And at Amazon, Bedrock really does give you the tools to supercharge your applications with your data. And of course, it's very important to take into account security as well as compliance. This is a very important thing for Amazon, and Bedrock was built with no exception as well. So with Amazon Bedrock, your customer data is never shared with our foundation model providers. So anything that you're using in Bedrock will never be shared back to the third party or even Amazon. All data is encrypted as you're within Bedrock as well, and data in transit is encrypted. You're also able to monitor any API activity and troubleshoot any issues with CloudTrail, and this can be very helpful for auditing purposes as well. And in terms of compliancy, Bedrock is in scope for many, with more of the common compliance standards like ISO, SOC. We also are compliant with GDPR as well. So that's something that would be very important for our EU customers. And so this is what I wanted to discuss in terms of Bedrock. However, one last product that I wanted to quickly introduce was Amazon Personalize, which is something that is a bit more tailor-made, a bit more managed for a hyper-personalization use case. With Bedrock, you would get a bit more customization in terms of configuration. So as I mentioned earlier, you have access to change the different foundation models. So people usually like to choose different foundation models, as that can help you cost optimize, but also really make sure that your foundation model is suitable for the task that you're using. However, with Personalize, that layer is kind of abstracted away from the from our customers, where it's a managed service where you're able to kind of use it right out of the box. So customers do find that quite useful as well. But we can use Personalize for several different use cases. And on the screen, you'll see we have 4 types of personalization. And these are some of the more common use cases that we see with Personalize. So you'll see we have user personalization. So this is where a personalized product or content recommendation is tailored to a user's profile and interests tailored to a user's profile and interest, and this can help drive higher conversion as they're more likely to be interested in the product. Then we also have our related product item recommendations. So this is just similar item recommendations, and this can help users discover new products or even compare any existing items in the catalog. And then we have our...
Chairman, one question, sorry. Your screen disappeared from my computer. Is somebody having the same problem, or is it just me?
We can still see it. It's your problem.
Okay. Then just one note, Chairman, we got about 2 minutes for you to go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then we also have personalized rankings, where business priorities will require you to promote specific content or products such as seasonal merchandise or even time-bound promotional offers. And lastly, we have user segmentation, where you're targeting your messages to users that are more likely to be interested. And this can help avoid over messaging to users that are likely to be uninterested. And then next, I want to just quickly introduce Amazon Personalized Customers. So you'll see Amazon Personalized is not just for one industry. You'll see a wide range of industries here that ranges from retail to education, along with media and entertainment as well. So this can be really applicable across several industries. And just before I wrap up, I also want to do a quick summary regarding the topics that I covered today, because I know it's quite a big topic. So I want to highlight AWS as your strategic partner. So we work with our Amazon Partner Network, and you're never working alone within AWS. We also have our strategic business partnership with our Amazon side of the business as well. Some of the benefits that we have for Amazon Bedrock includes our broad selection of AI models, along with our enterprise-grade security and compliances. And then you're also really able to quickly build generative AI applications at scale as well. And just some of the use cases that we discussed for personalization is user personalization, giving related items according to a existing item, some personalized ranking, so ranking different items based on user history, along with user segmentation. So thank you so much for listening. I'll pass it on to the next speaker.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. As managing consultant at Adastra, today I would like to about best practice around implementation of hyper-personalization in Meiro. We are very happy to be a part of this session as we partner with both Meiro and AWS. Adastra is proud to hold the highest partner tier with AWS and also to be a reseller and implementation partner of Meiro. We all know that personalization is not only a nice to have today, it has become one of the strongest competitive advantages in marketing and customer experience. But reaching through hyper-personalization, the kind that feels relevant, timely, and almost intuitive to the customer, it's still a big challenge for most organizations. Today, I would like to share with you best practice and experience from multiple large-scale marketing automation and CDP projects. Let's get started. From our experience are these key points and recommendations. As first, right data. The first important realization that we see again and again, not everything has to be real time. Very often companies set themselves a goal. We must do real-time marketing, real-time personalization everywhere. But when we start calculating the actual incremental value, the real lift in conversation, retention, or CLV. Many use cases simply do not justify the big technical complexity, cost, and latency requirements of true real-time decisioning. A very good pragmatic questions, and we always ask your clients early in the project. What is the true value delta between reaction in 200 milliseconds versus reaction tomorrow morning with much higher data quality and much richer context? In the major of cases, especially in non-e-commerce segments, day -1 personalization powered by clean and enriched data outperforms real-time decisions based on incomplete or noisy data. The second key point I would like to highlight is moments of truth. These are the handful of critical interactions across the whole customer journey where the customer forms or changes their long-term perception of the brand. Typical examples are first purchase after trial, first complaint, subscription or contract renewal moment, or major life event trigger communication. When you map these moments of truth properly and design consistent, personalized experience for each of them, this will be big impact to loyalty and lifetime value. Step-by-step approach. Very frequent success pattern is gradual onboarding of data and capabilities in the CDP projects. We see many projects fail because they try to give the marketers 400 events plus sometimes 200 attributes on day one. The result? Hell, people stop using the CDP. We recommend start with between 8 and 12 most important events plus core identity and transaction data. Second, demonstrate quick wins with these core data points. And last and third, step by step, extends to the data model every 4, 6, 8 weeks, maybe, and step by step. And as last, one more warning we always mention, especially when AI comes into personalization. AI-driven personalization on digital platforms can reinforce negative user behavior. We have seen multiple cases where the algorithms learns that angry, extreme, or addictive content keeps people engagement longer, and then starts serving more of exactly that content. This is why we strongly recommend building 3 protective layers from day one: a clear brand codex, alignment with AI governance, and continuous QA oversight. Okay, so this our recommendations for implementation of hyper-personalization from the positions of a system integrator / implementation partner. Let's go next slide. The single sentence we heard most often when we asked clients, what was the best investment you made in the whole CDP / personalization projects? Typically, customer answer, the best investments was one senior data analyst dedicated full-time to CDP for the first 6 months. Why? Because that person or implementation partner like us translates business needs into data questions, cleans and validates incoming data streams, educates the marketing and CRM streams, and prevents the classic garbage in, garbage out situation. As a final point, I would like to say Adastra is a strong partner for you. Many customers trust us with their CDP initiatives, for example, KBC, O2, or T-Mobile, and other. And it is all from my side. Thank you for your attention. I am happy to follow up to discuss your implementation challenges and how we can help after this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Jermaine, Karel, Edo. I can see a few questions in the chat. We got 10 minutes for Q&A. So I will start with these. I see, Jermaine, you already responded to one that was to you regarding the availability of your bedrock models depending on region. So there is a link in a chat responding to that. The second part of the question, Jermaine, was about whether there is any model training on customer data. So maybe let's start with that one.
Yes, so actually, I was just typing the response to the second part of the first question, which was what happens if a selected model is not available in your required geography? So I'd say if the model's not supported in your specified region, you might want to go and try alternate different models instead that are available in that region, because that would allow you to kind of test around different models. Unfortunately, we can't circumvent that kind of region restriction. If you do really want to use that model within that region, I would suggest maybe self-hosting it with it on EC2 instead. And that's a way that you could kind of host it outside of Bedrock. And lastly, is there any model training on customer data? So we never train our models on customer data. So your data is not being used to train our models or being sent back to the third-party provider to train the models. So you can be rest assured that your data is never being used to train the models.
I mean, thank you. Karel, there is one question going to you from Khaled regarding how do we do this segmentation. It's a pretty long one, so I don't want to read it, but hopefully you had time to read it in the meanwhile.
Not really, but let me have a look at it. Your approach for AI asset segmentation, audience, science hyper-personalization. Excellent question, Khaled. Yes, it's actually both. It's the personalization on the level of the entire segment as individual profiles. And within Meiro CDP, actually the profile is a set of individual attributes. So the results of computation within, let's say, recommendation engines or any other engine that uses machine learning can be stored in individual profile attributes. And how does that combine with the segment level? Each profile can also be, let's say, assessed or qualified as a persona. So that already puts it into some kind of segment, and we can use that in combination with the personal behavior and hyper-personalization on the level of individual profile. So the combination of, let's say, it's the person who is within a segment and their individual behavior will give us the final results of what should be the next action or the next recommended product. Now, the basic criteria could be given by the segment, and then within the segment, we could still differentiate between individual profiles. Hope that helps.
Thank you, Karel. I see Khaled has no response to that, so hopefully Khaled is happy with the response. I have one to you from my side. Listening to you and to Yada earlier on, I heard a dissonance. I think, Karel, at your presentation, you stressed a lot about real time, right, and fast reaction time, while Yada from Adastra was saying, don't focus on that too much. So I wanted to give you space for a rebuttal on that point.
I think there is no real battle here or disagreement here. And, between consultants or among consultants, there is a special swear jar for any time we say it depends. But it really depends. It really depends. And definitely there is a space for real-time use cases as well as, overhyping the real-time mantra. So not all the use cases need the real-time capability of processing the identity and so on. But we all know that in some areas of business, the attention span of the client is very short. And if you do not catch them while they are on the website or while they are on your mobile application, they may never come back, right? Especially if it's, let's say, a new visitor, they just came across your brand, they are on the website for the first time. We already start collecting their behavioral signals, and in real time, we can modify their customer journey. So instead of showing them like a completely generic offer, we might be responding to the situation of knowing where they actually come from. Is it a organic search, or did they come through a marketing campaign on Instagram or anywhere else, right? And those basic conditions or rules already give you like the ability to talk to them in personal manner. If we just treat everyone with pre-computed segments that might be a day and month old, we will never catch that person, right? On the other hand, treating everyone in real time may not be necessary, and we can do with older segments or overnight computed segments. So I'm quite sure there is not a disagreement or battle between me and Yarda.
Thank you. Thank you for that. If anybody has any question from the audience, please put them in the chat so I can pick up on them. I still have one from my side. We have 4 minutes to go, so I will ask that question. Now, we're talking about AI, so that in my mind, right, when I look at it conceptually, that's kind of the last layer of the problem, right? Letting AI help us execute something, some campaign, generate some content, generate a particular trigger, etc. But underneath it, I think there are 3 fundamental issues. There is data quality, identity resolution and quality of that resolution, and the richness and potentially the real-timeness of the identity that the LM works with, and the activation layer. Now, where to start, right? Where should company that is now thinking about, well, how do we work in an era, right? What should we tackle first? And where are the biggest challenges? Well, what are the toughest points? Which area?
I think personally with the customers that I've seen kind of get started with AI, I think the hardest thing is getting the right data, because they might not already have that data available, and that just makes it quite difficult for them to really get insights from those data, because it's not just collecting data, it's requiring that it's in the right format, it's rich enough to have be suitable for their use cases. So I think data is definitely the first place to get started, because as Karel mentioned, data is at the core of all GenAI use cases. Your outputs are only as good as your inputs. And if your data is not the most suited for your task, it's probably not the best output that you're going to get. We also have different kind of workflows at AWS, services at AWS that can help you with in terms of cleaning data. So if you have any real-time data coming in, we also have those services that can help you with formatting the data into the correct format that you need and storing it into our different storage services as well.
Thank you, Jermaine. Karel, are there any comments to that, or was that in line how you think about it?
I totally agree.
Yes, definitely.
I see a lot of challenges on the marketing side of things, right? Because when we talk to CMOs and marketing specialists, they are very interested in how do I send a targeted email that looks nice and is easy to execute, but it starts with the data, right? So that's a tough one for marketing people to adapt to, I think.
Yes, there are definitely like two kinds of challenges. The first one comes with the data, the other one comes with the content. And we actually hear sometimes two contradictory messages. Like if we hyper-personalize the offer for every single profile, where do we actually get the content to be able to talk to every single person in a little bit different tone, with different, copywriting, different messages, and so on. So obviously, Gen AI can help with the content, but you still need to maintain the control over your messaging, not to run into risks of offering like nonsensical content to the users and so on. So definitely a lot of challenges there. I would say it's still, goes back to the good old communication strategy. Do not probably let the AI to drive the complete strategy yet, and use it as an agent, as a helper that might help you with the data and with the content.
Super. Thank you, Karel. We just hit 11 o'clock, top of the hour. So thank you very much for attending, all the hosts. I hope you found the 1 hour you spent with us useful, informative. If you need help, if you need to ask a question or suggestion, please reach out to me or any of the speakers. We are happy to support you. Thank you very much, and hope to see you soon on one of our quite regular webinars.
Thank
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.